Hi, Deanna Jefferson. Thank you so much for joining us here at Doctors to You Talks. It's our recorded conversations with professionals. So we're happy to have you here. So now you're a partner of Doctors to You. Let's discuss. Yeah, we're going to jump right into your business and start just discussing everything that you're into. And I'll do an introduction later via the written portion of this that kind of explains who you are and direct people to all of your social media, website, and all of that good stuff.
Okay.
So let's discuss the misconceptions women have about fitness, especially regarding resistance and weight training, and how women specifically should approach fitness, and whether that even differs from the way men should approach it.
Yeah, so a lot of the times the common misconception is that as women, we don't want to lift weights. We have this idea that, if we lift weights, if we do any type of resistance training, we're going to get big and bulky and not have that feminine look anymore, which is completely a misconception. A lot of times women, what we want to do is kind of, a lot of our goals is to lose weight and kind of tone up. And so building muscle mass through resistance training, through weightlifting, actually helps us to burn fat more efficiently. So it's really important that we include, as women, we include both resistance training, also known as weight training, and a cardiovascular component to our fitness regimen.
So does that differ from men? I mean, should we be lifting lighter, or should we not hold back?
It depends. It depends on what your goal is. So speaking in general, most women just kind of want to tone up. And when the goal is just to tone and not necessarily gain mass from muscle, typically you should be doing a lower weight and higher reps. So a lower weight kind of differs from person to person depending on your fitness level and the level of your strength. But in general, it'll be anywhere between 5 and 10 to 12 pounds, and you want to be doing anywhere from about 10 to 15 reps.
And how many sets, or does that matter?
About 3 sets.
3 sets, okay.
Yep.
2 to 3 sets. Okay, sounds good. Well, how do you approach your new clients in customizing? Because you just mentioned goals, but how do you approach it when you're dealing with a new client and customizing or tailoring fitness and nutrition for them specifically?
Yeah, so definitely listening to them, listening to what their struggles are with nutrition and with fitness in general. Sometimes it's just something as simple as, not as simple as, because for some people it's not simple, but something like motivation is just kind of like their downfall, not necessarily knowing what to do, but just having the motivation to do it. So it kind of depends on what their struggles are. And then I figure out how we can kind of overcome those struggles, but then also listening to what their goals are, because different people have different goals. And so some people may have a goal to actually gain weight and gain muscle weight, or gain lean weight, rather. So, the regimen for that person is going to be a lot different than the person who really wants to slim down, lose weight, and just kind of tone up. So really listening to, having a complete conversation about what their struggles are, what their downfalls are, and listening to what their goals are really helped me to customize a fitness and nutrition plan.
Do you have a specific questionnaire, or is it really just a conversation and feel for it? I know some.
It's both. Yep, it's both,
okay.
Actually. So I have my clients fill out a pretty thorough questionnaire. It's about 5 pages, ranging from questions like what their eating habits are, how many times a day they eat, what their struggles are as far as nutrition, whether it's, not drinking enough water, whether they want to lessen the amount of sugar that they're eating, whether they cook at home or they eat out. So there's a bunch of different questions, nutrition and fitness questions that I have them answer on my questionnaire. But then I also have a conversation with them during our first session or during our consultation to kind of discuss the questionnaire a little deeper.
And you mentioned nutrition, and I just want to jump on that. So what foods and supplements do you normally recommend beginners to take? Are there anything specific for beginners to take to assist in fitness and overall wellness? And I just want to kind of extend that question and talk about the whole clean eating, because we hear that. And I don't know if people know exactly what that is. And, some people are under the assumption that fruit is something that can contribute to good health, but it's also sugar. So Yeah, can you just go into that?
Yeah, definitely. So normally I wouldn't suggest, I don't suggest supplements to any of my clients. I normally suggest that they get all of their nutrients through a healthy diet. Now, obviously, because of the world that we live in and everyone is so busy, it's pretty tough to get a lot of the nutrients in through the diet, but your body best absorbs nutrients through the foods that you're eating as opposed to supplements that you're taking. And so I really encourage clients to get in, all the nutrients that they can through their diet. Now, if that is not working and there's some nutrients that they're not getting through their diet, then I will recommend some more like all-natural type of supplements. But typically, I recommend that they get in the nutrients through their diet. As far as clean eating, so clean eating, I normally just tell my clients, well, first of all, when you're going to the grocery store, you want to try to shop around the perimeter of the grocery store. So these are going to be things that are not necessarily in your packages with a ingredient label on the back. So this is going to be your fresh, lean meats. This is going to be your produce, your fruits, and your veggies, things like that. That's going to be your clean eating. As far as fruits and the sugar in fruits, fruits do have sugar. It's natural sugar. However, I normally suggest that, especially if my client's goal is to lose weight and we're on a regimen where we are trying to burn fat, I normally recommend that they eat fruit, but they keep it towards the morning as opposed to eating fruits late at night, just because there is that sugar component. But sugar from fruit is obviously way different than the sugar that you're going to get from, say, a candy bar or a piece of cake. So there's not really that that kind of scare that comes from people, eating fruit, saying that it's got sugar in it, is not as big as people really think. But I do recommend that most of the time my clients are eating fruit earlier on in the day as opposed to later in the day.
That makes sense. And does that go along with the whole carb cycling thing? Would you do like fruits on some days and then fruits not on other days?
Not necessarily, no. I normally let my clients eat fruit as they want. Okay. Now, I do have them keep it earlier in the day just because it kind of gives you time to actually use that energy that you're consuming through the fruit. Mm-hmm. And normally later in the day, if you're eating fruit, you don't need sugar or you don't need energy necessarily at night or throughout the night. And so that's the only reason why I recommend that my clients eat it early in the day. But I don't normally have, just tell them to eat fruit only on the days that we're working out or on those high energy days. I normally allow them to eat fruit whenever they feel like.
Okay. So what can we add or eliminate from our routine to better aid in weight management and health? We wrote an article recently about apple cider vinegar, and I do know that there's some natural things out there that may assist people. Do you have any tips or any advice on that?
Yeah, definitely. So the first one is one that most of us already know, so drinking lots of water. And the average recommendation is to drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And if you're over 250 pounds, to drink a gallon of water every day. So that's the first one. The second one is eating things that speed up your metabolism. So things that are going to kind of give you like a little booster, in your fitness, to reaching your fitness goal. So eating grapefruit is a metabolism booster. Eating spicy food, so adding chilies or scotch bonnet, jalapeno peppers to your foods will kind of spike your metabolism a little bit. And then also green tea is a great metabolism booster as well. So I normally recommend that my clients drink 1 to 3 cups of green tea a day as well.
Okay. Those are actually terrific tips because some of the articles that we put out on the website kind of back some of those things up, so it makes for a great linking for me when I'm putting this up to link back to some of our other things for even more detail.
And it has a great synergistic effect on you eating healthy and working out, so it kind of boosts those results. Now, I will say that I do know some people that have just tried to eat a lot of grapefruit and drink a lot of green tea and add a bunch of spices to their food, but they're not working out, or they're adding a bunch of spices to, say, fried chicken, and that's not going to work. So you want to definitely use it kind of in sync with your clean eating and your working out. So.
Right. It all has to be in concert. You can't just say, hey, you know. That makes a lot of sense. I've experienced that too, just in my family. People are like, well, you said if I eat this, then, you know, something. But I'm like, yeah, but you're still eating, like, you know, like you said, fried chicken every day.
Exactly.
Well, in your opinion, what's the most overrated workout, exercise, or fitness technique? And what do you wish or suggest people would do instead? Because you know how things become in vogue one year and then the next year is something different. So what's the most overrated thing right now?
Yeah, I was looking at that question. There's really nothing that I would say is overrated. I do feel like there maybe are some things that are less safe, but as long as you're working out and as long as it's something that you enjoy and that you're doing safely, whether it's, you know, you actually know the techniques of whatever that that skill is, or whether you have a coach that knows the techniques of whatever that skill is, as long as you're doing it safely and it's something that you enjoy, it'll be sustainable and it'll be great for you in the long run. So there's really nothing that I could say that I would tell people is overrated. Yeah.
Okay. I guess my thought with that question was I study a lot of, you know, nutritionists and people in the fitness world, and some people are sort of against overusing machines versus using maybe free weights or body weight.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was where I was thinking, you know, I didn't know if maybe you had an opinion about that.
There are some things that I would suggest over other things. Definitely using free weights over the machines just because it mimics more of what we do in everyday living. The machine kind of taking you, you know, in a linear motion.
Right.
The free weights are going to activate a lot more of the muscles that we use kind of like in everyday life. So there are some things that I would say are better than others, but I know a lot of people don't necessarily know what, especially if you're kind of new to working out, you have no idea what to do with those dumbbells. And so when you can hop on a machine and read a piece of paper in front of you and it tells you to just push and release, and that's all you know how to do, then that is what's going to be kind of best for that person.
Right. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. As long as they're moving, especially people who may be extremely overweight. So let's just say you mentioned we are busy, and the two of us are busy, especially you. So I'm glad we're catching up. But if we have 10 minutes in a day or 10 minutes every day, what's a quick, like, really effective workout or exercise specifically that you would tell us to do, and why?
Sure. Let's see. This would kind of vary depending on what their goals are and what their fitness level is. For me, and I guess for anyone who maybe is just trying to slim down and tone up, I would say a Tabata would probably be the best style of workout to do with 10 minutes. And a Tabata is essentially, it was developed by a Japanese guy, and it's a form of high-intensity interval training. So you do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of recovery. You have 4 different exercises that you complete, and you do 8 rounds of it. So you would pick 4 different exercises that work different muscle groups if you're doing like a strength training Tabata, or if you're doing more of a cardio Tabata, you just pick 4 different cardio exercises. You give an all-out effort for 20 seconds, and then you kind of rest and recover for 10 seconds, and then give an all-out effort for the next 20 seconds, and rest and recover for 10 seconds. And again, you do that for all 4 exercises, and you do 8 rounds of that. So it really gets your heart rate up, and it really gets you, the good thing about high-intensity interval training in general is that you not only burn calories during the workout, you burn calories for time after you've completed your workout as well. So it's kind of getting the best bang for your buck because you only have 10 minutes, but you want to be able to burn calories within those 10 minutes and for several hours to follow your workout.
So tell us a little bit about your business and what motivated you to get into this space.
Yep. So my business is Deanna Jefferson Fitness. I own a gym in Upper Marlboro, Maryland called the Fab Body Factory, where I lead an all-female boot camp on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. In addition to that, I do personal training. I work with a bunch of different organizations. I'm currently working with the Redskins with their WOW, which is the Women of Washington. We do a bunch of different fitness events with some of the female fans of the Washington Redskins. Also working with a program called Redskins Fit, where we work with middle schools in the D.C. area to just kind of teach them about health and fitness. We take them through some fun physical activities, and we teach them a lesson about health and fitness. And I work with a lot of different other nonprofit organizations, and also I do corporate wellness programming as well. So a lot of different things going on in the health and fitness field. I'm also a holistic nutrition practitioner, and that's about it.
So is there a little story behind how you got into this?
Yeah, so I was actually in college. I was a competitive cheerleader. I went to the University of Maryland, and when I was in college, it was actually considered a NCAA sport. And so when I was there, we had mandatory weightlifting days twice a week. And as a matter of fact, I despised working out while I was in college. And it wasn't until I graduated from college, and I guess I was kind of on my own schedule and being able to do my own thing, I realized that working out kind of kept me, I guess, sane almost. I was able to, I had a better focus. I just felt happier. And so when I was able to kind of do it on my own, I started to enjoy it a little bit better, and that could be that whole entrepreneur mindset too. So I was doing it on my own. I actually majored in kinesiology as well, and so I started teaching. I had a lot of friends and family that would come to me asking me for advice about fitness, and so I started teaching a boot camp, mainly for kind of friends and family at first, and then the word kind of got out, and it got bigger, and it grew so much that I ended up opening up my own gym. I still have that boot camp running to this day, so now it's been running for close to about 10 years now. Got all types of licenses and certifications, and it's just become my passion, really helping people to live a fulfilled life through health and fitness.
Well, that's it. I mean, if there's anything else that you would like to add that you want us to know, maybe specifically your social media links or anything like that, just let us know.
Yeah, so my website is DeannaJeffersonFitness.com, which will actually be changing soon because I'll be Deanna Robinson next month, the end of next month. My Instagram, actually all of my social media handles are at Deanna Jefferson, which will soon also be changing to at Deanna Robinson.
Let us know who you are, like where you're from. We know you went to University of Maryland, but just a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. Well, I am a devout Christian, one. And I do feel like I am walking in my purpose and helping people to live a fulfilled life. I feel like when you are in your best physical state, you're able to pour into people a lot more and a lot better. And if you're not full, then you can't pour into anyone. And so that has kind of been one of my God-given purposes, to kind of really help people to live fulfilled lives so that they're able to pour into the next one. So kind of that each one teach one type of thing, to where I am infecting the masses and not just infecting people in my community.
Okay. That's awesome. And what are lastly, what are your feelings about your partnership, and what do you expect to get from your partnership with Dr. Sue, which is a house call medical provider?
So I love Dr. Sue, love Dr. Brown. He's awesome, amazing. I think it's an awesome concept, especially when you're not feeling well. Trying to pull yourself up out of the bed and get to a doctor's office can be a really daunting task. If you've ever had the flu and you've been really out of it, you know that trying to get to a doctor's is the last thing you want to get up and go do. So it's an awesome business idea, awesome business concept, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it.